Good morning, students. Just wait 2 to 3 minutes more, then we will start the session. Okay. Okay. So let's start the session. Before going to start that, I know from next week your internal exam is coming. So I already started the uploading. I already started uh, uploading your YouTube video of classes. Okay, but unfortunately, yesterday I was unable to upload all the videos, but I started. Okay, and within today I will upload all the videos. No issue. Okay, one thing. And in the last class, we have discussed about dispersion. So modal dispersion actually. So in that class we started discussion about the category of modal dispersion. Okay, so normally the modal dispersion, uh, are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this modal dispersion takes place in multi, just 1 minute. Yeah, so modal dispersion, please give me just few seconds to share. Now the screen is visible for all of you. Okay, so actually this modal dispersion takes place in multimode fiber, and it is broadly noticed into two types. One is the intramodal dispersion and another is intermodal dispersion. Okay, and you already got the expression for the modal dispersion also. In the earlier class I already discussed. The first I will discuss now, that is the intramodal dispersion. Okay, so what is intramodal dispersion? Basically the intramodal dispersion is pulse spreading that takes place within a single mode, and you already got the concept about the single mode and multimode, and this is pulse spreading arises from the finite spectral emission with of an optical source. So today in the later part we will discuss what is the optical sources, mainly what are the sources we will use as a optical source. So this is the concept about the intramodal dispersion, and there is mainly two main causes of intramodal dispersion. First of all is material dispersion, and the second one is waveguide dispersion. And both this topic already covered, discussed in the earlier classes. Okay, so intramodal dispersion the is caused by the two dispersion, that is the material dispersion and the waveguide dispersion. Okay, so next is that just 1 minute. Okay, I think there is a mistake in heading. Okay, no issue. Next is the intermodal dispersion. So what is intermodal dispersion? The intermodal dispersion or a modal delay appears only the multimode fibers, and this signal distortion mechanism is a result of each mode having a different value of the group velocity at a single frequency. Okay, and as both rays are traveling at the same velocity within a constant reflective index fiber core, then the delay difference is directly related to their respective path lengths within the fiber, and hence the time taken for the axial ray to the travel along a fiber of length alpha gives the minimum delay time, that is t min. So minimum delay time, that is t min. So t min equals to distance by velocity. Equals to distance is L, velocity is c by n1. N1 means refractive index of core. So here it is L n1 by c. Okay, so n1 is the reflective index of core and c is the velocity of the light in vacuum. Okay, so this is up to the just 1 minute. This is up to the intramodal dispersion and intermodal dispersion. Okay, so there is like that. Here you can see just Okay, like that. Suppose this is the medium of air. This is n not equals to 1, and this is the angle of theta a. This is the distance angle, and here this is theta. This is axial ray. This is cladding part. This is the reflecting index of cladding is N2. This is core, and this is extreme. Ray. So here actually this is the here you can see the paths taken by the axial and the extreme meridional ray in a perfect multimode step index fiber. Okay, this is the figure for the path taken by the axial and extreme meridional ray in a perfect multimode step index fiber. Okay. So now we will move the topic that is the optical source. Okay. Okay. So optical source. The concept of optical source mainly we will discuss the direct and indirect bandgap materials. LED structure, that is light source material, quantum efficiency and LED power modulation of LED, laser diode, and the threshold condition. Okay, rate equations, that is the external quantum efficiency, resonant frequency, and laser diode structure and radiant pattern, and the radiation pattern, the single mode laser, that is the modulation of laser diode and temperature effect, and introduction of quantum laser and fiber amplifiers. Okay, So I will provide this PPT for your better understanding. But first, I will discuss that what is optical source. I think you are not getting the screen. Okay. So first, anyone tell me what is optical source?
Sir, LEDs and laser.
Yeah, LEDs and laser is an example of optical source. Absolutely. Yes. Can you tell me the definition of optical source? What are the function?
Sir, produce light.
Produce light. Mainly the optical transmitter convert the electrical input signal to corresponding optical signal, and that particular optical signal is then launched into the fiber, and the optical source is the major component of optical source is a major component is an in an optical transmitter. And yes, just a few seconds ago you have said that we are using mainly the optical transmitter, that is the optical transmitter, that is a LED light emitting diode and the semiconductor. So first I will discuss what is the laser diode or LD. Okay. First is laser diode, in the short LD. So what are the characteristics of light source of communication? That first of all, it must be possible to operate the device continuously at a variety of temperature for many years. Okay, so here I am actually writing the characteristics of light source of communication. So first, it must be possible to operate the device continuously at a variety of temperature. Second one is must be possible to modulate the light output over a wide range of modulating frequency. Okay. Suppose for a fiber link, the wavelength of the output should coincide with the one transmission window for that fiber type used. So I will provide the PDF for this class, no issue. The second one is, then third one is the to couple large amount of power into optical fiber. The emitting area should be small. To reduce the material dispersion in an optical fiber link, the output spectrum should be narrow. So this point you already saw in the earlier classes. The discussion is already over, and the power requirement of its operation is very low. So to operate the laser diode or LED, we need very less power. Okay, and the light source must be compatible within the modern solid state device. Okay, so these are the main characteristics of light source of communication. And one thing that with these optical sources mainly we are getting that high reliability, high optical output power, high coupling efficiency, and better linearity of prevent harmonic and intermodulation distortion. So these are the main advantage of the characteristics whatever we are getting from the optical sources. Okay, now the next one is that is the LED. Okay, LED means light emitting diode. Normally, two types of light source you already get here, that is the laser diode and LED. So now I will discuss that is the LED. So before going to start the LED concept, first I will ask you, you already I think have the PN junction concept. I think you already know what about the PN junction, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in PN junction, the conventional PN junction is said as the homo junction, as the same semiconductor material is used on both side junction in homo junction, but in hetero junction it is little bit different, and the electron hole combination occurs in uh, relatively layer, that is 10 micrometer. Okay, and here the carriers are not confined to the immediate vicinity of junction. Okay, so the high current densities cannot be realized in the case of PN junction, and the KDR confinement problem can be resolved by the sandwiching a thin layer, and the thin layer of width is almost 0.1 micrometer between the P type and N type layers, and the middle layer or the sandwich layer middle layer may or may not be doped. Okay, and in any optical communication system, when the requirement is bit rate and the optical power is tends to microwatt, the LED is the best option to choose like a optical source. So first of all, the LED structure. So you just give me a few seconds to draw. Okay, so Actually, this is the injected electron. This is inside. And this is inside. This is mm, this is electron barrier. This is almost 0.9 electron volt. And this is the electron volt recombination. This is the Hv equals to this is the whole barrier. And this is almost 1 easy. Um, this is active region. This is 3.5, this is 3.2, and this is the total wavelength region. Waveguide region. Here, the electron energy. And refractive index. And the inject hole. Okay. Okay, so this figure is for the LED structure, and this is the for the heterojunction. Okay, so heterojunction is a interference between two adjoining single crystal semiconductor with different band gap, and heterojunctions are two types, that is isotype and anisotype. This is the figure for a double heterojunction, and here in order to achieve the efficient confinement of emitted radiation double heterojunction, are used in LED structure, and here the heterojunction is a junction formed by dissimilar semiconductor. Okay, dissimilar semiconductor, and here the double heterojunction is formed two different semiconductor on each side of active region. Here the crosshead region, the crosshead region represent the energy level of free charge, and the recombination occurs only in active region, that is the GaAsP layer, and the two material have the different band gap energies and the different refractive indices, and the changes in band gap energies create the potential barrier for both hole and the electron, and the free charges can recombine only in the narrow and well defined active layer region or active layer side. Now the double heterojunction structure will confine both the hole and the electron to a narrow active layer, and under the forward bias actually there will be a large amount or large number of carriers injected into the active region where they are actually efficiently confined, and the carrier combinations occurs in small active region, so leading to a efficient device. And another advantage of a double heterojunction structure is that the active region has a higher refractive index than the material on other side. Okay, so the light emission occurs in an optical waveguide, and which serves to narrow the output beam. Now the LED configuration. So at present there are mainly two types of LEDs used in optical fiber links. One is surface emitting LED and another is edge emitting LED. Okay, and these both device used as a double heterojunction structure so that to constrain the carriers and the light to an active layer. Okay, so mainly two types of LED is used in optical fiber links. One is surface emitting LED and another is edge emitting LED. Now we will discuss that is the surface emitting LED first of all, and then we will discuss the edge emitting LED. Okay, so before going to start the surface emitting LED and edge emitting LED, I am requesting you all the participants write your name in the chat box for the attendance. This is a figure for surface emitting LED. Okay, so here in surface emitting LED, the plane of active light emitting region is oriented perpendicularly to the axis of the fiber, and here the double heterojunction layers is grown in the n-type substrate at the top of the diode as shown in this figure. And one thing, the circular well is etched through the substrate of the device, and the fiber is then connected to accept the emitted. So at the back of the device is a gold heat sink for this surface emitting LED, and the current flows through this p-type material and forms a small circular active region, resulting in the intense beam of the light. Okay, so here the diameter of active region is almost active area is almost 50 micrometer thickness. This is diameter. Thickness of circular active area, so this is 2.5 micrometer, and the current density this is 2000 ampere per centimeter square, and the emission pattern is isotopic. This is beam width. Okay, so this is up to the structure of surface emitting LED. Okay, so the time is almost over for today. So one thing that Monday I missed to take 2 classes, and in the second half of tomorrow I will take that particular class. Okay, and I will inform your CR the class timing. Okay, so tomorrow I will take another 2 class of optical communication fiber. Okay, so that's all. I think today I hope you got the concept about this topic. Okay, and we will discuss in the another topic in next class. Okay, so now I am ending this session.